So I'm basically a self-taught baker. I try recipes and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But today I'm going to make, I'm going to attempt to make sourdough bagels. New York style sourdough bagels. Where did I get this? I don't know. I got this off of bakedtheblog.com. So we're going to try it out because I'm trying to do a lot more recipes with a sourdough than just with a regular yeast. So this is, it's got a few different parts. So this is day one. So I'm going to start with this. But other bagel recipes I've used, the mixer can't usually handle it. But we'll see. So I'm going to start with my paddle attachment. So I'm going to put this on. So my starter, I've had it for a while now. I tend to refresh it. I know people keep it for years, but I don't. So I'm just trying to find a spatula. I thought I had everything ready, but you never do, right? So with my starter, this loveliness, I use, well, this one I've been using whole wheat flour because it seems to like whole wheat flour better. And so I had to proof it. So I proofed it a couple hours ago just to make sure it's nice and bubbly and active. And proof it, you just feed it with, I did 1/4 cup of flour and a little bit of water. Just my starter I tend to keep really thick, so I'm probably not going to have to use as much water in this recipe that it calls for. We'll just have to play it by ear. So, starter goes in, and you can't use all-purpose flour for your starter because of the stuff that it has in it. It'll kill your starter. I always use unbleached flour. Or whole wheat. The whole wheat seems to be alright. So that goes in. I just gotta make sure I'm like following the directions properly. Once I get it, then I'm not too worried. So it says to mix the starter and the water. So this is cold water. I don't usually use cold water. I usually use room temperature water. So this will be different. So this was 1 cup of starter, 1.25 cups of cold water, it says. Which, like I said, I usually use, especially with my starter, I use warm water, but we'll see. And then it says to add the maple syrup as well. So maple syrup was 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Or, I don't know, there's some other, you could probably use honey or really anything. Alright. This says to whisk it, but I put my paddle attachment on. I got it dirty, so I'm using my paddle attachment just to lightly combine it. There, that's mixed pretty good. So now you switch your attachments. Sink. And alright, so it says to mix in the flour and the salt. I never put my salt right directly into my yeast of any kind. So I am just going to whisk that together a little bit. We have a really small kitchen, so it's kind of nice in a way because everything is like right here. Right where you need it. But this is the only counter space that I have. So, alright, so now it says to add, oh, you just add it all in. Really? Okay, cool. We'll see how that goes. I'm not going to add it all in at once. Because like I said, I don't know if I'm going to need the full 5 cups of flour. And it was 2 teaspoons of salt. So I'm just going to let that do its thing. It's kneading. You want to see? It's not kneading yet. It's still just mixing. Mixing, mixing. I don't have a tripod. I do, but it's not here at the moment. It's not mine, it's my husband's. He's got it. I don't know what he's doing with it. Who knows? I'm going to turn her up a little bit. Alright. I just smack the bowl to get the flour to knock down until it starts really picking it up. So it says to let it knead for 6 to 7 minutes, or you can do it by hand. Whoa, too much. I'm gonna let my mixer do it. So I did add all the flour. Oopsie, I wasn't really planning on doing that. But anyway, we'll see. You can always add a little bit of water back into it too. And never turn it on like crazy or you'll get a poof. I would show you, but I don't want to clean it. I could walk this too. This mixer doesn't really stay down, so I have to hold it down. Getting a little bit of fluff here and there. Let's see, she's struggling now. I don't want to turn it up just yet. Alright, so now it says to knead, once you get it incorporated, for 6 to 7 minutes, I think. So I'm going to let my mixer do it, I think. I always say that and then I end up taking it out and kneading it by hand, but I think we're gonna, it seems okay. I think it's alright. Yeah, so I'll let my mixer do it. In about 6 or 7 minutes, I'll be back to tell you what to do next. Okay, I think it's gonna kill my mixer. So I'm just gonna show you how I knead, because you see a lot of people, they knead like this. Me, I go one side, I just go back and forth. And I find this is the easiest for me. And I can knead a lot longer this way, in case the dough is really tough. This dough is fairly tough. I think there's too much flour, but it is bagel, so it could be different. I don't know. We'll see. The other dough, I think it was tough. I think it's tough as well. Anyway, we'll find out how these turn out. But anyway, that's how I knead, just because it gives me an equal workout in my shoulders. Like this is okay, but I just find the side to side is a lot easier for me. So that's how I knead, just in case you're looking for a new workout. It's good enough for me. I'm going to put this back in the bowl, and you let it rest for 20 minutes. Don't need this anymore. I'm going to put a wet towel over this because it's really dry, and that's what I'm going to do. So, that's that. Letting it rest, because you had a good workout. So did I. I need a rest. Alright, we'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. So, we take that off. Here's what it looks like. The same as when it went in. So, I'll pull that out. Alright, I don't need this anymore. So, I'm going to set it over there for now. Okay, so it says that you can do 8 big bagels. I forgot what I was doing. Or 10 small ones. So, to make my life a little easier, I'm going to roll this out this way. Okay, so now I'm going to cut it in half. Alright, so that's in half. Now, I think I'm going to do 10 because I don't think we need big bagels. So, I'm just going to, alright, so cut that in half. So, I need 5 from each of these lovelies. 1, 8's going to be easier. So, I'm going to do 8. See, when you're baking, you just kind of got to go with it, because it doesn't always work out how you want it. And I was going to do cheese bagels. Usually when I do cheese bagels, I put the cheese in it. But I obviously forgot. So, okay. So now I'm done with you. Okay, so now it says, I think it says to fold these edges around like so. And then roll the ball, roll it into a ball on an unfloured surface. But I don't know, we'll see. Because you want to create surface tension on the top of it. So I'm just going to do it like when I do buns. I'm just kind of pinching the bottom and rolling it around in my hand. These are going to be big bagels. But So see how it's pretty smooth on the top? Plop. Wow. Ooh, big. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing that. So I'm just folding it under itself until I get about, did I say under itself? Under, inside, it's in, what do you do? What is this? Like you're folding it in, whatever, you know, I'm sure. Then I pinch it, pinch the bottom, kind of closed. And then I'm just kind of forming a ball and pulling it taut on the top. So you get a nice smooth top, and what does it say? It helps the skin. I don't know. I'm not overly picky when it comes to how my stuff turns out, because as long as it tastes good, I'm happy. Right, see? Cool. So I'm going to keep doing that until I'm done, and obviously I might have messed that one up, but that's okay. They're bagels. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing that until I'm done. Then you cover them again and let them rest for another 15 minutes. And this is what all the little balls look like. That's what my hand looks like. Ooh. So they are going to sit here, covered with the damp cloth again, because I don't want them to dry out. See, this one here tore a little bit because I was too rough with it. So don't be too rough with them, because they're delicate. But yeah, so it's nice and smooth on the top. Okay, cool. We'll see. In 15 minutes, you shape them. So, we'll see how that goes. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. This is what they look like. I don't know if you can even see that. They look the same. Okay, so now we shape them. So they said there's two different ways you can do it. You can roll it out into like a long strip and then wrap it around your 3 fingers and kind of squish it together, but I don't even want to attempt to do that. I just want to keep it straightforward this time. So you take one, and you generally find the center, and you're going to poke a hole in it. Boop. My hands are still a little wet from washing them. So, and then you just work the hole until it is twice the size of a walnut. I'm guessing it's a walnut in the shell, because, you know, a walnut out of the shell isn't very big. So I just kind of, this is how I do it when I do the other bagels. I just kind of squish it around, try to keep it fairly even. Where it's fat, I give it a little bit harder squish. Where it's skinny, I kind of leave it. So, walnut. You know, I haven't had a walnut in a really long time, so I'm trying to kind of guesstimate. So, I don't know. I'd say that's about the size of a walnut. Okay. So this is what you're going to do. You're just going to keep making it. That's probably good. And then we're going to put them over here. Boop. And then, once these are all done, they're going to proof for, what does it say? 2.5 to 4.5 hours until puffy. So basically you're just letting the sourdough wake up and do its thing, and hopefully they'll get poofy and rise up and be poofy. So yeah, then after that, the way you test them to see if they're proofed enough is by popping them in water. Pick one you don't mind sacrificing. Doesn't hurt it. Put it in the water, and if it floats, it's done. If it sinks, it ain't done. So I'm just going to keep going through and doing this, and then you shall see what they look like while they go to sit. So I think I am going to use 2 trays just to make my life easier. All right. Okay, all done. So this, I'll show you what they look like. So this is what they look like. Yes, I know, shadows. So now they're gonna proof. I'm gonna say they're probably gonna proof for, actually, I'm gonna turn the oven light on. Boop. Okay, I'm gonna guess 4 hours. I'm gonna put them in the oven with the oven light on, and I'm probably gonna cover them as well. Yes, that's what I'll do. Yes, my cord. Phone's dying. Okay, so that's what they're gonna do, and then when they're ready, or well, when they're proofed, I shall show you them then. See you in a bit, like 4 hours. It's 11 o'clock. Okay, toodles. Okay, so I was going to call them muffins. The bagels have proofed. They're poofy enough for me. So now I'm going to wrap them up in plastic wrap, and they go in the fridge overnight. Say goodnight, bagels. Okay, it's the next day. I don't think I really mentioned, but proofing these probably took closer to 6 hours, I think. So today is the day that we're going to boil them. Each bagel, what is it? 15 to 20 seconds per side. So we're going to put those in there. And then as soon as they come out, we're going to dip them in this. I picked this because that's all I had. But I'm only going to do half this because I'm sure the kids won't like it. But before I do the bagels in the water, I put in 1 tablespoon of baking soda, yes, and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. So I'll just let that dissolve. So I'm going to go ahead. Okay, so I'm probably going to just do 2 at a time. So 20 seconds aside. And then we're going to bake them. These are the plain ones. They've been boiled, and now they're ready to go in the oven at 400 and... Wait a sec, it's preheat the oven to 450. So once I put them in the oven, I turn it down to 400 and bake for 18 to 22 minutes until golden brown. So we shall see them when they're golden brown. The bagels have come out of the nice toasty oven. I had to do them for an extra, maybe, I don't know, probably an extra 10 minutes. Just because, I mean, all ovens are different, right? So this is what they look like. They're still a little warm. And I'm having one for breakfast, so they look nice inside. These are the ones with the seasoning, obviously. And this is my breakfast. So, taste test. So they're all done. Time for a taste test. I toasted this one and just put some butter on it. Really good. Definitely try this recipe out. Shalom, guys.